You know those animal facts you've heard your whole life? The kind of stuff you repeat at parties thinking you sound smart? Well, get ready, because today we're about to take a sledgehammer to some of the biggest, most common lies in the entire animal kingdom.
Okay, let's just dive right in with an absolute classic, one we all know. You see a dog, its tail is just wagging like crazy, and your first thought is, "Aw, look at that happy dog." It's practically instinct, right? But should it be?
Nope, not even close. And honestly, believing this one can get you into some real trouble. That wag is, well, it's way more complicated than just simple happiness.
So here's the key. You gotta understand that a wagging tail isn't really about happiness. It's a sign of high emotional arousal. Now, that can be good arousal, like excitement, for sure. But it can just as easily be anxiety or fear or even anger. It could be the last warning sign you get before a bite. The takeaway here is crucial. You have to read the whole dog, not just the tail.
And that brings us perfectly to our first big topic, reading the signals wrong. This is all about how we constantly misinterpret what the animal kingdom is trying to tell us. All right, here's one I guarantee you know, thanks to every cartoon and movie ever made. The matador, the red cape, and the bull charging in a blind rage. It's an absolutely iconic image. But guess what? It's all theater. The reality is bulls are red-green colorblind. They literally can't see the color red properly. So what are they charging at? It's the motion. That aggressive waving motion of the cloth is what they see as a threat. The matador could be waving a pink polka dot cape and get the same result. The red is just for showmanship. It looks dramatic, and, well, it also conveniently hides any blood.
Okay, let's talk snakes. So many myths, so much fear. Let's bust a few. Quick fire. You think they're aggressive chasers? Nope. They're actually super shy, and their first move is almost always to get away from you. Those hypnotic eyes? Pure cartoon invention. And the idea that they're all slimy and slippery? Wrong again. Their skin is totally dry and often kind of rough to the touch.
All right, so we've covered misread signals. Now let's get into what we get wrong about animal bodies themselves. This next section is the anatomy of a lie.
Okay, I'm willing to bet that almost every single person listening has either said this or heard it as just a known fact. Cows have 4 stomachs, right? It's in textbooks, it's everywhere. It feels 100% true. And yet, it's totally wrong. A cow has 1 stomach, just one. But, and here's the important part, it's an incredibly complex stomach that has 4 separate compartments, each with a different job to help break down all that tough grass. Here's a really simple way to think about it. Our heart has 4 chambers, right? But nobody says we have 4 hearts. It's the exact same idea for the cow, one complex organ, just with different sections. And hey, the body myths don't stop there. Think camels store water in their humps? Nope, it's all fat, a huge energy reserve. What about dogs sweating through their tongues? That's just panting to cool down. They actually sweat from the pads on their paws and their nose. And the bald eagle is not bald, not even a little. It just has a very cool head of bright white feathers.
Okay, moving on. Next up, we're tackling the incredible powers we give animals, the myths about their superpowers. We're talking senses, sounds, and strength.
I mean, this is the stuff of movies, the stuff of nightmares. The idea that you get one tiny little cut in the ocean and it's like ringing a dinner bell for every shark for miles around, it's definitely sold a lot of movie tickets.
But let's bring this one back to reality. A shark's sense of smell is absolutely fantastic, but it's not magic. The real range we're talking about is more like 200 meters. That's maybe 2 football fields. And even then, it's not instant. The scent still has to travel through the water currents to get there. And what about the mighty king of the jungle? Well, there are 2 problems with that title. First, lions don't live in jungles. They live in grasslands and savannas. And second, the king is, well, often a pretty lazy hunter. It's actually the lionesses who do the vast majority of the work, hunting as this incredibly coordinated team.
Okay, now this next one is one of my absolute favorites. I want you to just close your eyes for a second and picture a bald eagle soaring majestically through the sky. You can probably hear its call right now, can't you? That powerful, piercing scream that just echoes freedom and power.
Well, surprise! That sound you're hearing in your head is a total Hollywood lie. That epic scream, it actually belongs to a red-tailed hawk. Turns out the real call of a bald eagle is this series of high-pitched, kind of wimpy squeaks.
And Hollywood producers just decided that wasn't cool enough, so for decades they've just been dubbing in the hawk's voice instead. All right, for our final section, we are heading into some truly weird territory. This is where reality is way, way stranger than any myth we could ever make up. Now, this is really interesting. We have two very similar myths here with totally different results. The idea that sharks can't get cancer? Completely false. They get tumors just like lots of other animals. But the myth that naked mole rats are cancer-proof? Well, that one is surprisingly close to being true. They are incredibly resistant to cancer, and it's a biological quirk that scientists are desperately trying to understand. Okay, quick biology pop quiz, because it's going to set up our grand finale. People always lump spiders in with insects, but they're in a totally different class, arachnids. The easiest way to ever tell the difference? Just count the legs. 6 legs, it's an insect. 8 legs, it's an arachnid. Simple as that. And that little lesson brings us to maybe the king of all animal myths. We've all heard it. Daddy longlegs are the most venomous spiders in the world, but their fangs are too small to bite you. Okay, let's just blow this thing apart. First truth, the creature you're picturing isn't a spider. It's a different type of arachnid called an opilone, and it's actually more closely related to a scorpion. But here's the real kicker, the final nail in the coffin for this myth. They don't have venom glands. At all. The entire story is just made up, from start to finish. So as you can see, the animal kingdom is just filled with things we get wrong. It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? What other facts that we all just accept are actually complete fiction? Keep questioning.